out the players and get on with the show on Card Sharks. And now, here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much. I thank you and welcome to Card Sharks. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us at home. And the opening poem was sent in by Emily Dearman of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, watching on WPTF-TV, Channel 28. Thank you, Emily. Now we're going to open up the board, and we will indeed get on with the show. As Janice and Lois load in the cards, we'll meet our Card Sharks. Virginia Bailey coming out first, our champion. Hi, Virginia. Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Now, you've been with us for a couple of shows, and we found out that you have been married for 45 years.
That's right.
You and your husband in business together.
Yes.
But I didn't come right out and ask you, what is the secret, all this togetherness that in business in 45 years, what's the secret of that happy marriage?
Well, I think one of the things is while we work together all the time, we didn't really insist that we be together for everything else. We've allowed each other to have our own interests and sort of do our own thing, as they say. And this way, we've respected each other's interests and allowed each other to do it.
Good idea.
And so we've worked together and we play together and we've just had a marvelous time.
That's nice, and you've done very well for the family. $4,425 in cash for Virginia Bailey. Challenger's Jeff Gale. Hi, Jeff.
Hi,
nice
Jim.
to see you again.
Nice to be here.
And we only met you at the end of our last show, so won't you again remind us about yourself?
Well, I'm Jeff Gale from Glendale originally. I'm going to school up in San Luis Obispo at Cal Poly. When I'm not going to school full time, I come down to Los Angeles and call race recreations on the radio for horse races when I'm not busy. And besides that, I'm getting my business degree in December and then going into business with my father in real estate.
Very good. Now, when we met you on the last show, hope you were with us because Jeff made up a horse race between Johnny Olson, who's filling in for Gene Wood this week, and I, and you had me win. Now, that was a phony race. I appreciate the winning. What about a real race? Have you ever gotten stumped? Have you ever had a problem with some of the real races to recreate them? And what would cause a problem like that?
Well, we've had some tongue twisters that in some of the horses, you know, they kind of make you twist your tongue and you say the wrong things. Some horses being Miss Usinovich, to a charming lady, the Irish broad following an amen brother bringing the rear up. You know, those can get...
You both got the cards?
Yes, we did.
Here we go. We start the best 2 out of 3 with a question to Virginia, the champion. And a reminder, one of our nice new rules, if you can hit it right on the head, it is an instant $500. Virginia, we asked 100 married women, is your husband, oh, listen to this, 45 married years, is your husband the man of your dreams? How many married women said yes, their husband is the man of their dreams?
Well, speaking from experience, mine really was because when we met at a dance. We both loved to dance, and so we sort of hit it off right from the very beginning. However, I don't think this always happens, but this is something that women would like to happen, I'm sure. And I would say, though, I'll be rather conservative. I'll say about 40 women would say.
40 out of 100 women said their husband is the man of the dreams. Higher or lower, Jeff?
Oh, I would say that has got to be higher. In order to marry somebody, I hope that they say that they are the man of their dreams to get married and prevent a lot of mishaps. So I would say it's got to be higher.
So if it's higher, you'll play your cards. If not, Virginia plays hers. The actual number of married women who said their husband is the man of their dreams is 65. Jeff is right. It is higher. And isn't that a nice high number? That's very nice. Jeff starts off the match with a 4.
I'll go higher.
Playing higher. Oh, no, another 4. Not higher. And that is a break for Virginia and a free chance at a 2.
Oh, higher.
Higher than a 2.
Yeah.
Yes, a 9.
Oh, freeze.
On the near middle card, we move over the freeze bar, protecting that position for Virginia. Jeff, your first question. Jeff, we asked 100 single women. Has a man ever asked you up to his place to see his etchings? And when you got there, all the jerk did was show you some stupid etchings.
Well,
how many single women said, yeah, that's happened to them?
Well, speaking from personal experience in the past, not now, I would say that's got to be a relatively high number because the plan of attack, you know, the little method of operation is to get them in the apartment, say, look at my etchings.
Yeah, but how many said they went up to see the, and when they got there, all he did was show etchings?
That's right. I would say that had to be, then we go down low and say 23.
23. Kind of thought your thinking was going the other way, Jeff. 23 out of 100 single women said, yeah, that's happened to them. Virginia?
Well, I think if they really said they wanted you to come up to see their etchings, they have something else in mind, so I don't really think that it's just etchings. I think it would be even lower.
Even lower than that?
Yes, right.
Well, the actual number of single women who said a man has asked them to his place to see his etchings, and all he did was show some etchings, is 20. It's a little lower. Virginia has it.
All right.
Virginia, you've got a 9.
Change that card.
You win the question. You can change it. Yes, a 3
Oh,
is a good change.
higher.
Higher than the 3. A 9.
Three.
Wasn't that a good change with that double 9 there? Question 3 coming up in this match right after we take time out for this. We're in the middle of game 1, and looking at the board, Virginia's moved over now with a 9 as her base card. She needs 2 cards for the game. Jeff with a nice base card of 4, but he needs 4 cards. Question 3 to you, Virginia.
Fine.
Virginia, we found 100 people who are working in the election campaigns of the current presidential candidates. And we asked them, is a lot of money being wasted on your candidate's campaign? How many campaign workers said, yeah, a lot of money is being wasted on their candidate's campaign?
Well, I think even though they're working for their special candidate, they would have to admit that there is a lot of money being wasted because there are so many extra things that they have they probably don't really need. So I would say perhaps 65 would say that they spend too much.
Jeff, how many campaign workers said, yes, a lot of money is being wasted on the candidate's campaign? She said 65. Higher or lower?
I would say it's got to be lower. The campaign workers feel that that's a worthy cause. They're going to stick with their own party. It's got to be lower.
You say lower. Well, the actual number of campaign workers who said a lot of money is being wasted on their candidate's campaign is 65, right on the money. Virginia! Oh, you got the first advantage of the new $500. Way to go. An instant $500 for Virginia, and of course, playing the cards right now with a 9.
Change the card.
Now you can change that in your middle card. Winning the question to the king, a good change.
Lower.
Lower than a king, a 4.
Higher.
For the first game of the match, yes! Virginia gets $500 right away, and the game for another $100 and $600 just like that for Virginia. We'll be back with game 2 in just a moment right after this. I'm happy for you, Virginia. Same 2 decks of cards. Janice deals out the next cards off the top of the deck, and we'll start game 2, a game that you need, Jeff, with a question to you. Jeff, we asked 100 married men. Can you tell when your wife wants something from you just by the way she kisses you? How many men said, yeah, they can tell when their wife wants something just by the way she kisses?
I definitely know that has got to be a very high number. Speaking from personal experience, you can just tell the way the woman feels. I would say the number has got to be 68.
68 out of 100. Jeff was very firm about that, Virginia.
Well, I would say, really, if you can't tell, I don't know, something's wrong with your marriage or whatever. I would say it's even higher than that.
Even higher?
Yeah, right.
You figure after 45 years, you can't communicate with a kiss, you can't communicate.
If my husband can't tell now, well,
forget it.
It's just too bad.
68 and higher. The actual number of married men who can tell when their wife wants something just by the way she kisses is 75. Virginia's right. It is higher. Virginia starts off game number 2 with a queen.
Oh, good. Lower.
Lower than a queen. A jack.
Good. Lower.
Risking it lower. A 4.
Oh, wonderful. Higher.
Higher than a 4. An 8.
Oh, free.
And on that middle card, Virginia needs 1 card for another crack at the money. Virginia, we asked 100 people. Wait, listen to this. 100 people. When you board an airplane, does it make you nervous to see several fat persons all sitting on one side of the plane? How many people said, yeah, it bothers them to see fat persons all sitting on one side of the plane?
Well, it would really bother me more if I were in a boat and saw them all on one side. But I don't really think in this day and age that they would think of that. So I think it would be low. I would say like 16.
16 out of 100 people say, yeah, they're bothered if they see all the heavy people on one side of the plane.
I would say that number has got to be definitely lower. They don't really matter if a bunch of heavy people sit on the opposite side of the plane. They just look the other way. Be lower.
Or get out on a wing and try to balance it. The actual number of people who said it bothers them to see several fat persons all sitting on one side of the plane is 18, not lower, by right, 2. Virginia has it. You've got an 8, Virginia.
Change it.
Changing that middle card, and a big change, needing 1 for the championship. A 9, still near the middle.
I'll go lower. I'll
Lower
go
than
lower.
a 9 for the win. Yes! Virginia wins it. And, Jeff, we have to say goodbye. Good luck with the studies.
Thank you. I've had a fun time.
That's
Thanks.
nice. Thank you. Jeff Gale. And Virginia Bailey, come on down here with me. All righty, Virginia adding another 200 in the game. 500 for that instant win. Did you cut the money card?
Yes, I did.
Now, let's see you take advantage of that other rule change, and that is, since you're on your own here, we're not taking anything away from an opponent. If you get a double here with the money cards, then you don't lose. The bet just carries over. So a deuce or an ace would be beautiful with that new rule, okay?
Yes, it would.
Let's get over and play those money cards. Come on, Virginia. Here we go. Let's see you take advantage again as we're trying to give away more money on Card Sharks all the time. $200 of new money, 3 cards on the bottom line to bet as you will. Up to the second level, we add another $200 of betting money and 3 more cards. Minimum bets, remember, $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must risk at least half the money. Good luck, Virginia.
fine.
You're a nice lady. Let's see you win a bundle.
Thank you.
Here's $200. And you can change the base card on each level if you need to. Thank you, Lois. We'll start Virginia with 200 and the 5.
Oh, change that card.
Doesn't
Change
like the
that
5.
card.
You must play this one. An ace!
Oh, good. 200 lower.
All of it, and of course you
200
cannot lose
lower.
it with a double ace. We'd only
No.
carry it over, but it's 400 if this is lower. It is with a 3.
Wonderful. 300 higher.
$300 higher than a 3. Yes, another ace!
700 lower.
Trying for 1,400 lower. Yes, with a 5. Great job on the bottom line, and we move up to 5 and give you the other 200, 1,600 already.
Change that card.
You made a great change before. Can she make another good change? 1,600 this level. A 2!
Oh, great. 1,600 higher.
Trying to double 1,600 higher. Yes, with a 4.
Wonderful.
3,200 and 3 cards to go.
3,000 higher.
$3,000 on the turn of this card. Higher.
Oh,
and you were rolling, but
yeah.
come on, let's do it with those
All
last
right,
couple.
200 higher.
For 400. Higher. Yes, with a 6.
Right.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a
Oh.
big, big win. Let's see a big comeback right now. Do you want that 6?
Change that.
All right, changing it. Let's see a good card. Come on, after that low card before. An ace!
Oh, good. All right.
Well, Virginia.
400 lower.
All right, let's double it for $800 lower. Yes, indeed. Well, you had a tough break there, but 800, 200 in the game. That's another $1,000, Virginia. That's not bad. And Virginia Bailey, $5,925 richer. We will be back with a new challenger in Virginia right after this.
I thought you had a big one.
Okay, Virginia, Janice deals out 2 brand new decks of cards, and here comes a new challenger on Card Sharks. Shirley Reibel. Hi, Shirley. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm fine. Won't you tell us about you?
I'm Shirley Reibel. I'm from San Pedro, California. Originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a housewife and mother of 2 kids, Freddie and Michelle, and I'm a medical transcriber at night.
Oh, is that hard to transfer? With
Well,
all
it
those
takes
long
time
words?
to learn. Yeah, it takes time to learn.
Yeah, nice to have you here
fun.
with
Thank
us.
you.
You cut your card, Shirley?
Yes, I have.
Good luck. Here we go. Starting the best 2 out of 3 with a question to Virginia. Virginia, we asked 100 married women. In the middle of a romantic moment with your husband, have you ever wished you were in the middle of a really good book instead? How many women said during a romantic moment with their husband they have wished they were reading a good book instead?
Well, I can't really imagine that. You know, if you really get to such a romantic moment, they may only happen once in a while, so you wouldn't push it away. So I think that it would be very low, really. I'll say like about 15.
15 out of 100 have wished they were reading a good book instead, Shirley.
Oh, gee, well, I can't believe that either, really. I don't like to read myself, and especially over the other. I'd take the other over reading a book any day. So I'm going to say a little higher.
A little higher. You figure more would wish they were reading a good book than 15.
Just maybe a few.
All right. The actual number of married women who, during a romantic moment with their husband, have wished they were reading a good book instead is 27. Shirley's right. It is higher. 27? Some of them are reading War and Peace, and they never got back to that romantic moment at all. Shirley, you've got it 4.
Okay, I'm going to go higher, higher.
Higher than the 4. No, 2 times higher. The champion gets a break and a 7.
Oh, all right. I'll go higher.
Higher than a 7? Yes, a 9.
3.
And Virginia comes out on top of that with a 1-card advantage. Question to you, Shirley. Shirley, we asked 100 women. Have you ever, I bet some of you have done this, 100 women. Have you ever pretended your doorbell was ringing just to get a long-winded caller off the telephone? How many women have pretended to hear the doorbell to get rid of a long-winded caller?
Oh, I'm going to have to say it's a high number. I know I've talked to people on the phone that just won't stop talking. They'll talk about anything. So I'm going to say 65.
65 out of 100, Virginia. What do you think?
Well, I think that sometimes it's very embarrassing to try to get them off the line. So I think it's even a little higher than that.
A little higher.
Right.
The actual number of women who've pretended to hear the doorbell to get rid of a long-winded caller is 73. You're right. It is even higher, Virginia. 73.
Change that
Now
card.
she can change that 9. Good change with a jack.
Lower.
Lower than a jack. No. Cards backfire this time for the champion, and Shirley with a break.
Higher than the 4.
Higher than a 4.
No.
After a 2, a 3, and Shirley can't advance. Question 3 to you, Virginia. Virginia, some states now allow television stations to broadcast trials of people accused of committing crimes. So we surveyed 100 inmates in San Quentin prison, and we asked them, would you have let your trial be televised? How many inmates said yes, they would have let their trial be televised?
Well, I think that they probably feel that maybe if more of this was on TV, they may, that might make a change in the way sentences are given. So I think maybe, I would say a relatively high number like 55.
55 out of 100 say yes, they would have let their trial be televised, Shirley.
No, I'm going to have to say lower. I don't think they would want too many people knowing about their crime and what they did and have everybody listen to everything going on. So I'm going to have to say lower.
You say lower. Both of you have totally different attitudes on this one. The actual number of inmates who would have let their trial be televised is 62. Not lower, it is higher. And Virginia's attitude comes out on top. You've got a jack.
Lower.
Lower than the jack. No. And as we bounce around, Shirley with a free
I'm
chance.
going to try again. Higher.
Higher. This time it is.
Lower.
Lower than the king, a 6.
Freeze.
And we move over the freeze bar, and as Janice fills in the spaces, Virginia needs 3 cards, Shirley needs 2. Sudden death, someone has to win this game on this play of the cards. Shirley, we asked 100 single women in their 30s. Tell the truth. Have you given up looking for Mr. Right and begun looking for Mr. Pretty Good? How many single women in their 30s admitted they have lowered their standards?
Well, I'm going to have to say that would be true, because once you start getting a little bit older, your standards go down just a little bit. So I'm going to say 46.
46 out of 100, Virginia. Higher or lower?
No, I think in this day and age, when women can have careers, they're not really so intent on being married regardless of who the man is. So I think it's lower.
Even lower than that?
Yeah.
This will decide control and sudden death. The actual number of single women who have given up looking for Mr. Right is 47, not lower by 1. Shirley has it. Shirley was very close to an instant win, and most importantly now, she has control. Shirley, you can play it, you could pass it, you've got control.
I'll try passing.
You're going to pass it. Virginia, get all 3 of these, you win the game. 1 mistake, the game belongs to Shirley with a jack. What do you say?
All right, lower.
Lower than a jack. Yes, a 3.
Okay, higher.
Higher than a 3. A 5.
Oh, higher.
And the game comes down to this call. Is it higher? No, it's not. And Shirley wins it in sudden death. She couldn't call it higher, and it's game 1 of the challenger. We'll be right back right after this.
This is Johnny Olson speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.